All right, guys. We're recording. We're live. We're going. We're content
Nice,
farming.
nice. All right, sounds good.
So, all right, today I'm here with Ymreap, ShonSP, and brother underscore. Is it brother underscore Enoch, or do you like just going by brother Enoch?
Doesn't matter. Either one works.
So I figure we'll just start with you, Enoch. Tell us a little bit about yourself in Apex, and what are you known for? I guess.
An Apex?
Yeah, or just your stream. I'll plug all your guys' socials in the description as well, so people can go follow that.
Started playing Apex like right around like a few weeks before season 3, and I was a big bot. I sucked, and then I started playing it, and then I went like full time once I like graduated, or like once my classes went online pass fail, and then I got a lot better at the game when I started playing it 12 hours a day. And here I am.
I don't know. What happens. The 12-hour a day thing.
Yeah, it's crazy what happens when you do something for that much time.
Living, essentially. Nice, dude. Nice.
Wait, the real question is how many hours you have played Enoch? 'Cause I see you do 24 hours all the time.
Bro, all the time, like 4 times a week.
Yeah,
guys.
brother.
Yeah.
Farms.
How you
So I think I switched over to PC like probably like halfway through season 3. I'm pulling up my origin.
That's still insane.
What are you at, Bax?
I'm a bit over, all my accounts combined, over 2,000 hours, probably.
I've got 1,700 on PS4. I mean 1,700 on PC.
Yeah, he's already almost caught up to me, and I've been
How
playing
many do you...
season 0.
Oh my goodness. How many do you think you have on PS4?
Not a lot.
Oh, really? Okay. That's not too
Because
bad.
I only played like for like a little, like for a few hours when I was getting into it, just with my boys after I'd get off Fortnite. And then like I was just like not having any fun with Fortnite, and then I just started playing Apex, and I was like, yeah, it's kind of working out.
It was good that I would agree that it was good that you made the switch from console to PC though, especially as a content creator, especially as a controller on PC content.
The
creator.
the timing was tragic because I actually like got my PC for Fortnite like right when Apex came out, so there was like no shot that I was gonna switch over to Apex when I literally just got a PC for this like sole specific reason of playing Fortnite.
It's crazy. Like I think I've played 4 games of Fortnite. It was just not something I ever played, and I know a lot of people played it like a ton, or before they came to Apex. But I think, did anyone here play PUBG, or is it just me?
I played a little bit.
Okay, well, yeah, Enoch is the for this podcast episode, he is the cracked controller god. So he has that nice controller perspective.
Nonsense. I'm just a dude.
Oh, then why did we bring you here? Get out of the call. I'm just kidding. All right, so Sean, a little bit about you, brother.
I've been playing Apex since day 1. It's my first mouse and key game, and I usually just play ranked. I hit Pred last split and currently Pred right now. And yeah, that's about it, honestly.
Do you know what number what number were you last split?
Like 320, I think. Somewhere around there.
Okay.
And I think right now I'm like 330.
So you're pretty much locked in for the, like, you'll for sure get it. Or
I think it's gonna end. Yeah, I think it's gonna end around like 15.3k this split. So I'm trying to hit like 15.5, just meet the bare minimum and kind of just chillax.
When it ends tomorrow, right? Like in about 24 hours.
Yeah, apparently. I think apparently it's not ending Tuesday morning anymore. It's ending like Monday night. So it's kind of nice for me. That's grinding.
Yeah, even if it is just like what 12 hours, it's still less.
Yeah, but the stress of it, dude.
Then we know what you'll be doing after this podcast.
Yeah, I'm actually grinding after this for sure.
Yeah, no, that would make sense. All right, cool, dude, cool. What's up with you then, Reap?
So I basically started playing like the second day Apex came out, and that was like kind of when I was like, oh, I'll just start going for clips kind of and posting them on Instagram. And then once I get my Instagram, I started streaming. And yeah, I just kind of just play and upload clips.
Hell yeah.
And
How many times
yeah,
did you hit Pred?
twice, season 1 and 2 of ranked, and then masters all the other times.
Okay, yeah, I am the odd man out for the hitting Pred or Master. No, I hit Masters last split. I only hit Masters once, one split, but I was Pred Series 1 and 2. But it's like the splits or I think Series 3 was the one where I was kind of just like I couldn't really feel ranked. And now I was playing with Sean. Sean was actually there when I broke and was just like, we got rev ulted 3 times in a building that we were like locking down, and I was like, dude, this is just not fun. I can't do this split. And that was even before the cheaters were just out and like on a rampage. I just remember I was like, nah, dude, we were in Skyhook, and I was like, I can't do this, man. This is not a fun meta. This is not fun. I don't even want to figure out how to figure out this season. This is just I don't enjoy this at all.
I mean, in our defense, we were playing on Tokyo servers, and they're just known for running Revenant, Caustic, and like Wraith. So we were playing.
I thought we had tried a couple that night.
We actually did. Yeah, you're right. we definitely did.
I thought we were like. I think we jumped around to see if we could avoid like. And it wasn't normally you jump around to for queues or maybe for easier lobbies to farm XP, but we were jumping around to look for lobbies that just weren't running Revenant metas everywhere like crypto. We're just like maybe we'll find some group of people that have dignity.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to avoid all the degen strats.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it makes sense. I don't really get upset at people for running
Sean, you're a Revenant main.
Oh, I'm a Revenant.
I don't want to.
Sure.
I don't want to hear from you.
Bro, I complain about Revenant, but he's just so good. I'm gonna use him, you know? Like I'm not gonna not use him.
Dude, he's a ranked grinder. He hit Pred.
Yeah,
splits. He has to do it. You gotta do what you gotta do.
He's just too good.
I mean, people would. I think we saw that a lot with Split 1 Season 5 with a bunch of people switching to Caustics left and right. I'm proud to admit that I'm a Season 1 Caustic main. Alright, I jumped on the train before he was buffed. I would just like that known for everybody.
Yeah, dude, you're OG, man, with Caustic.
Exactly.
Everyone thought he was like pretty bad, but I don't think he's that bad overall. Honestly, he's a really good defensive character. It just sucks that he got nerfed.
Dude, the nerf made him not fun. That was probably the most annoying thing to me. That it was it just like ruined his ability to be aggro. And so you're really forced to sit in a building. And that's what everyone complained about, that he did that. And I've been saying it from the beginning, like, if you're just sitting in a building playing Caustic, you're doing it wrong. Now you're doing it right. So it's like, that's just frustrating. And there's just like knee-jerk reactions all the time at respawn. And I kind of feel like that's a nice topic. It's just like the devs and how the hell they managed things in for the game. And what your guys' opinions, or if you think there's like fixes, because I have a billion opinions on this that my community has heard me say a million times, and that's not what we're here for. But like, what do you like, Reap or Enoch or Sean? What do you guys think about like the decision making that they have at respawn? Like what I don't know. That's a very broad question, but we're just looking at all the changes that we've seen and how they buff and nerf things.
Well, like how you were saying about Caustic, I mean, I feel like they've made every legend kind of just not fun anymore. As in, like, Wraith, she's still good, but her, phase is like you're just standing there with your hand out for a couple seconds. So you can't play as aggro as before. Pathfinder 2, he's just not as fun to me because now you have a cooldown. He's still good, though, but just not as fun. Lifeline, the fast heal's gone. So, I mean, I just feel like all the legends that are good, they kind of do something to make them worse. And then, like, for me, I'm kind of just bored of playing every legend because they're all just like whatever to me right now. There's just no fun feeling anymore.
I could agree with that in some sense. Not Sean. Enoch, you're a Wraith main as well, right?
Yeah, I dabble on her.
Dabble. Don't you have like almost 20,000 kills on her?
A little bit over that, yeah.
Yeah, that's. I don't know if I would consider that dabbling. I don't even have 10,000 kills on any character, any legend. I think that's a true dabbler of all the legends. I have almost 26,000 kills but I don't have 10,000 on any one legend.
That's sturdy.
But what did you think about the change? Because I know Reap is also a Wraith main.
I mean, yeah, it definitely made it. Like a lot of people would say that like Wraith's just like a bailout champion because like she was, but like that's not really the case anymore. With how long like 1.25 is, I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Cause that just it's a lot. It's a lot longer than you think it is when you're just waiting on that stupid thing to go. But yeah, I would pretty much I would go along the same lines as what Reeve said. I feel like they take like the fun champions and just make them really not fun to play, and then they just take the toxic crutch characters and then just buff them and make it a really great gaming experience for everybody.
I feel like I picked up a little bit of sarcasm there at the end.
A little bit. Tad.
That's what it seems like to me is their mentality on everything in the game. It's like, oh, this is the best thing. Okay, let's make this no longer good in any way. Make it the worst thing, but then still not do anything to the bad things or the like mid-tier things. So, for example, like for me personally, I've been running the flatline a bunch now, and people will always be like, "Oh, you use the flatline a lot more than I used to," and it's like the gun didn't get better. It's just everything else got nerfed around it, so it makes more sense to pick it up now. But I don't think that that's a good strategy for nerfing things. Like, I don't think that's or balancing, not nerfing. I don't think that's a good strategy to balance things. I don't know. I thought the R301 from the beginning of the game, like right when it dropped, when it was a laser beam, I thought that was the golden standard for guns, and everything else should be like brought up to that as a standard. But then they just started nerfing everything. I can't really think of guns that they've buffed, and the same with the legends.
I don't know, but as of now, the current meta with guns, I would say like the gun diversity is pretty good right now. Like looking at ranked, because like there's so many different people who use so many different guns. It's no longer just like wingman PK or like R9 PK like it was previously. Like you have
Yeah, I
R3,
agree with that.
Eva. Yes, like right now it's not too bad. It's kind of healthy. And also like another thing. Oh sorry, another thing is also on like the whole Wraith thing, because I used to play Wraith. I think I have 14k kills on her, and
A dabbler,
so
see?
I dabble a bit. No, I just started playing Revenant this season because he's just broken. But with their Q change, it was like, in my opinion, initially like beforehand, it was like you get out of free like jail card. Like you just
Yeah.
kind of pop it and you kind of do it, and like I feel like abilities like that just aren't the greatest. That's like why Revenant is also broken, because you get a free like push or free third party. So like it's just, I don't know, like abilities like that are kind of lame in my opinion, where you can just execute something for free and reposition or push or something and just rely on it. So I don't like that whole idea in Apex.
Yeah, I mean, even Pathfinder, like the Q, and I always said this too, like the Q was it was kind of like a get out of jail free card like Wraiths, but not as much because it took a little bit of skill for movement. Like there was a skill gap of movement of how far you could throw yourself or if you like screwed it up. But you could be shot during it. So like someone with good aim can shoot you out of the sky. It's not like just instantly like you've gotten away like Wraith would be able to just disappear into different situations. So I overall think that the Wraith change was good. I just feel like if they had seen the best legends that we had before, what was it? Wraith, Pathfinder, Watson. For a long time, I know that was a meta. If instead of nerfing down the best legends, just buff up the lower legends so that everybody feels powerful in their own right. Like, where do you guys think the line is drawn between something is just broken and something is it's like fixable, I guess? Because you just said that Revenant's broken, and I think he's just like super unfun, and there's like a lot of tweaks that would make him more. It'd be easier to fight against him, I guess.
Yeah, I think they buffed Revenant recently. They made it so once you get returned back from Totem, you start at 50 health. So effectively you have more health when you Totem push. And like there's no range on it and stuff. It's just like I'm not gonna say it's broken, but it's definitely too good, and they have to just nerf that in general. Um, yeah, I don't know. Revan is just too good.
I'll say
I
it's
was
broken.
Yeah, same.
all right. That's
I can
fair.
say it.
That's
I
understandable.
think the totem. It's kind of the same with Caustic. When they took Caustic and made it so that teammates could run through gas, everybody started playing Caustic. When in reality, that change really did not do much. He was already the way he was beforehand, but then the community picked up on something and started doing it. But with Revenant, it really feels to me like, because if they just reverted Caustic back to the way he was before season 5 started, but where his traps, when you threw them, they couldn't be shot until they were fully inflated, I feel like that would be a better change. But then teammates still get slowed in it. Still less people would play it because a lot of people don't want to play Caustic, or they don't want to have a Caustic on their team to learn how to run around in the gas. Whereas with Revenant, I think reverting it back to the totem having a range would be cool, because then it would, people now who have seen where Revenant is good, the diehard Revenant mains would be able to play him and play him well if their team knows how to play around that. But you couldn't just pick it up and start using it like a lot of people have with Revenant, or a lot of people did with Caustic, where it didn't really take any skill or learning on the character. You were just able to do it immediately. Does that make sense?
I think you also need to bump up the HP that you lose from 50 to like 75, because like it's not hard to do 50 damage when you've got 100 to work with, and then you basically just get like a brain dead free push.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't matter, especially on the third party. It stings a little bit more when they're using Revenant. I'm not gonna lie.
Do you
Definitely
think
does.
that it should be like reset to 1 HP like it used to be when he first was added?
I wouldn't. I mean, I think that's the low extreme. I think 25 would be balanced.
Just to something to make you think about, like think for even just a second, like should we do this instead of just like do it?
Because like it's completely different if you have like a blue and you get sent back and you got like what if you had 50 plus 75, 125 HP to work with. You're gonna be like that's completely different than pushing in with 100.
No, yeah, that's for sure, especially at like top level.
Yeah, you're gonna have to think about it a little bit more.
As far, and I don't think we even talked about this though. His Q, I absolutely abhor his Q. I think his Q is like when he silences people. I think it's kind of, in my opinion, like an arc star. It just does too much, and there's too much of it. Like I personally think that if it has 2 charges like it does now, it should not be an orb that sits on the floor. It should be an AoE splash that hits and it goes, and if you've missed and didn't hit anyone with it, it's gone immediately. I don't think it should sit there, especially since he has 2 charges of it. Now, if he only had 1 charge of it, it's still physically sitting there, I think would be good. But like in some ways it's not like there is a skill because you can use it for some things, but it's like not skillful when you just have these dudes spamming it at you and it's this huge, circle that you can't run through. And then a lot of times they'll shoot it at a door I'm sitting at, and then I'll just become silenced even though it's on the other side of the door. But then sometimes I won't become silenced, so there's no consistency for me to play around to know what to do to not get hit by the silence.
Yeah, but then I don't think it's that big of a deal because say like I play Revenant, I silence the doorway, then it's up to the opponent to like kind of weigh the risk reward. Like, is it worth me taking like or them taking the 20 damage and then losing their abilities to fight me or not? And like it's honestly not that big of a deal for a lot of characters like lifelining them, and I don't think it's like that busted or whatever. I think his silences are honestly okay. I also get a huge dopamine rush when I silence someone. Not gonna lie, so I kind of like him.
We have the Revenant main talking to the Caustic main about the Q, so I think there's gonna be a huge disagreement on silence because I'm just a big fat guy running around with absolutely
that's
nothing
true.
that I can do whenever there's a Revenant around. And
Yeah, that's true.
I just think 20
I
seconds
mean,
might
you're
be a bit
both
too long
down.
as well.
I like Enoch's idea. I think Revenant would be definitely healthy if when you get sent back you have 25 health. Because I know in the past when you got sent back with 1 HP, Caustic could just put his gas down and kill them immediately.
Yeah.
So that's why it's probably not the greatest idea. But 25 would not be bad. I also think another interesting change is in your rev state, you lose the ability to loot and things like that. So it's only for pure aggression. Because I've definitely used my rev ult and looted boxes and stuff, and like it's really
That would be a
good.
change, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I
You
feel like
also
that's an
shouldn't be
underlooked
able to
aspect.
use abilities.
Yeah, I agree
The
with
fact that I have to worry about Bax tossing in his ulti for
Mhm.
absolutely no reason in a revolt,
Just to be
nah,
more grody, and just to be
nah,
like
yeah,
really, yeah.
a little slime ball, yeah.
Like
Yeah, I agree
Gibby's
with
armor
that too.
shield. Yeah, Gibby's armor shield and Revel is actually silly. Like, why is that a thing? You gotta do 150 damage to a Gibby when he's pushing you in rev state, and it's kind of silly.
Also, zero reason hammer points shouldn't do flash damage to revolts. That's like the stupidest thing ever.
I found that out the hard way. I don't know if it was with Sean, but it was definitely in ranked. I was like, you know what? There's revenants everywhere. I'm just gonna run hammer points on P20s, and when I hear the rev ult, I'll destroy them. And I started shooting, and it was like 11 or however much damage the P20 does. I was like, that's not 30, and then I got destroyed. I was like, what? They don't have armor on. I don't understand. That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I mean, I can definitely understand the arguments that you guys made for some of the stuff with him. I feel like, you know, with that totem change, what you're saying essentially is make the character have more skill, and you're a revenant main at this point, and you're
Yeah.
even saying like, do this to me because then it would be more fair. And
Oh yeah, for sure.
you know, I definitely said that too about Caustic, and Revenant I think is the same as Caustic in the sense of like I have been saying for so long, guys, you do not want games filled with Caustics. Like we don't ever want to be that powerful that everyone's choosing Caustic because that's not going to be fun for anybody. Before when he was a little bit weaker, I liked it because one, people didn't know how to counter a good Caustic, and two, there weren't Caustics everywhere to counter me while I'm trying to kill their team, and vice versa. And it's just not really a fun game meta when everybody's constantly getting gassed. So I definitely think there should be a skill gap for some legends, and some legends that are known to be a little bit easier to play for like beginners, and some legends that are known to be a little bit harder. But if you have that finesse on that legend, then you're able to make plays with that legend specifically.
Yo, I agree with that for sure. Makes sense.
Because Reap, you played Wraith, Watson, and Pathfinder, and I even think you, as well as Enoch, in different. Like, I don't remember if it was the same season, but you guys dipped your toes into the caustic cesspool for a little while, right? Just to test it out.
Yeah.
Because everyone else was running it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I ran Caustic in ranked for a little bit, and I was fragging. He was a little too easy to use. Like for me, never using Caustic and then just like crapping on everyone, playing aggressive too. It is a little broken. I don't think it was too bad though, but I think it was just a little too easy to use him. But I mean, I had fun honestly, and even going against Caustics, like to me, it's like you just don't push a Caustic. If there's I mean, if you lose endgame because Caustic, that's just unfortunate. But like, if you're, like 10 squads left and you try to push a Caustic, like you just back out. You just don't fight them. I don't think it was too bad though. I think the Revenant's a little worse.
I agree 100% that I would rather be in caustic meta or Watson meta over Revenant meta. Not because I don't want this game to be aggressive. I really don't mind an aggressive meta, which, Season 6, I genuinely think Rampart is going to change the meta and become meta. Maybe. And I think she's going to be very aggressive, but in more of a... You have to make that choice, like, do you have your ult ready to throw up the gun shields or whatever, and then you're going to have to focus a team and then push. But it's not like a brain-dead offense where you literally just totem the shit out of people until... It's just a war of attrition against them, basically, without not enough attrition against your own squad with the HP that they're losing from using the totem. But
I mean, honestly, I never went against a good Revenant team, to be honest. I don't know. It's just I think it's just being able to push with 100 HP and just be brain dead basically, and only lose 50 health for that is just broken. Because I even tried running the Rev meta, and I mean, I'll deal, even though I only have 100 HP in the ult, I'll deal like an easy 150 damage. So, and then they're just screwed. There's not enough time for them to heal by the time I get back, So I think he just reduced. Maybe he can only push with like 75 HP, and then I think he'll be fine. I don't think you need to make him crap, but you could just tweak him a little bit and it'll be fine.
That being said, though, so as gross as it sounds, the main comp I run is Crypto, Revenant, and Wraith. And literally, once our Crypto drone is set up, uses EMP, like I could have 50 health in Rev State and it would be busted. Because like they're stunned, they're cracked. We just ape one person, get the knock, get them back, take portal, we're in their face right away.
Yeah.
So it's like I feel like even adjusting his health to like 75 would just do minimal. Like it would do nothing if you play the comp correctly. So there's just inherent flaws with it.
But that's also like good team play though. Okay, the Wraith
True.
portal is a little broken. Like, okay, but if you crypto ult and then you push in as Revenant, that's fine. I think the portal is what kills it because then you're just back instantly. But I
Mhm.
mean, at the end of the day, like I'm personally not a fan of crypto on my team or even like I just don't like him at all. I don't like how that person is basically just, holding the thing out and just controlling the drone. I've never liked that aspect of it. So I don't know. I don't have a problem with cryptos at all.
No, that's fair. It's just I know you don't have a problem with the Crypto being on your team or like being on our team. I mean, but like, have you had a problem with Crypto EMPing you and like trying to fight and all that? Because that's pretty annoying. I'm not gonna lie. When you get
Yeah, but
EMP'd.
I don't know. I guess I don't go against enough like really really good players that abuse it because usually I don't I don't really see even like pros using that comp really. I feel like they
Mhm.
just kind of run whatever. So I guess it's different, but I would say most masters and predators, well not predators, but I would say most masters don't necessarily know how to push like correctly. So and I'm always running a shotgun, and then usually my teammates are running shotguns too. So it's pretty easy to hold down the building or just readjust or shoot the crypto drone.
That's true. Very
But yeah,
true.
like I said, I just haven't seen enough good cryptos either, though. That's one of the problems.
I don't really mind going against a crypto that much, except in pubs, because then I'm just like, why are you doing this now? Like, we're in pubs, bro. Relax. Like, but in all seriousness, crypto could be. I think he could definitely become a pain in everyone's side if more people started realizing the potential in him. Especially with that comp you just mentioned, Sean, with Rev and Wraith.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Yeah.
And I think that if Octane gets a rework into something like way better, and then Pathfinder gets his cooldown reduced to an actually playable standard, then Octane, Pathfinder, and Crypto could definitely be a meta, because I've run it before they nerfed Pathfinder's grapple, and that was an insane comp, just because by the time I was EMPing, my Pathfinder and Octane are going to be inside of wherever they're getting EMP'd, because of just their mobility is so high. And then they're also pretty small characters, so they were able to move pretty freely. But with what you have with with Revenant being able to totem and go, and then you have a portal, the easiest fix for that to like instantly unbreak that meta is just to put a tether back onto the totem where you can't go super far. That way you couldn't portal an entire portal out to fight someone far away. It might be something you can do vertically, like if you were in a building and you totemed on the bottom and you had a crypto drone outside and then you portaled up to the top, but it was in a building, whatever. But I just think that when they removed the limit on the totem, that's where it really was like, there's less skill of knowing when and where to place a totem, because you could just go and then get sent back really far away and be out of harm's way for a long time. So do you think that they should keep the totem should just be the way it is now, or should that ever be changed back to kind of having a distance? Or was that not even a problem and I'm just completely in the wrong here? I will fully admit I'm not a Revenant main, and I have not played a lot of ranked because of him. So
I mean, honestly, like the range itself, it's good now. It's like it's the fact that there's no limit on it, super nice, being a Revenant main. But I feel like if you just adjust like everything else we mentioned previously, I feel like that's not too much of a deal. As like if you get sent back, you're 25 health, or you can't loot while in Rev State. Like I feel like that on its own should be a big enough nerf than this being able to move unlimited distance.
yeah,
But like
think
that
so
could be a
too,
nerf
to
on
an
its own
extent.
too.
Yeah. That was just like a different, not everything at once, because if you did everything at once, that would just make it would just make it not fun and not for sure.
Mhm.
So as
Yeah,
far
I think
as oh, go ahead.
sorry, I think 100 meters would be a fair range because I think it was 65 beforehand or 70, right? So I think 100 would be fine.
Yeah, I
That'd
don't
be a
even
decent
remember.
range.
I think that would be like, because people ask me a lot about my opinions on different legends, and I always say, well, an easy fix would be this, and that I just mean band-aid or just like slap on fix, you know. And I think that a totem distance, if you did nothing else, that would be like the slap on fix, and then the things you guys were discussing earlier would be the more in-depth kind of like, you know, better fixes in the long run, because it would be more skill based then, and not just like that's what made Caustic broken, and that's also now what made him not good, was just a band-aid slap on the knee fix, you know, that made, or not fix but buff and then a nerf that made him great, and then everyone thought that he was amazing and played him, and then awful, and so now he's not, you know, he's not as insane as he was before. So I just think it's interesting. I know they have to be dealing with this at Respawn. They're dealing with having to figure out how to balance all the legends, and I totally understand that. So what would you guys think about a time period, I would say, before or between each series? So the splits just go right into each other, split 1 to split 2, but the series are all split with a 2-week period of no ranked, but they would be actively changing and buffing and nerfing things. And maybe that's where the new legend is added. We got all this new content, but ranked isn't out yet, so that the things can be seen in like the actual game, or having it. I mean, this is because we don't have a test server. I mean, if they had a test server, then this wouldn't be a problem either. But do you guys think that they should have a time for us to be able to test these things before they go live or affect tournaments?
Tournaments, yes. I mean, to me, like when Charge Rifle came out, I was playing ranked. It was annoying, but there's always like counters to everything. You know, you just deal with it. So I don't think for ranked it's that big of a deal. But yeah, tournaments, like I feel bad for them that, you know, a new update comes out, they haven't tested yet, and then they have a tournament within a couple days or a couple weeks, you know. So for them it's harder, and I mean that's for actual money, but I feel like ranked is just ranked, you know.
Yeah.
Like it's not super serious. There's no money on the line, so it's kind of like you play it. If you want to grind it, you grind it, but if you don't, you know, you don't have to.
That makes sense. What do you
I
think,
agree
Enoch?
with that.
Hello?
What's
Enoch,
good?
Are you there? Enoch fell asleep in his chair
Yeah.
from all the 24s, dog.
No, I'm chilling. I think that you said 2 weeks, right? I think that's a little bit of a stretch. I don't think it needs to be that much of a time, and and for ranked, I don't think it's that big of a deal. And like when you look at like other games, like Fortnite is like way, way, way worse than Apex in terms of like doing meta changes before tournaments.
Yeah.
Like Fortnite had their winner royale, which just I forget how much money it was, but it was absurd. And they literally put in like the most broken, overpowered, busted sword
I
into
remember
the
that.
thing
Oh yeah.
on the day of the winner royale. Like it's not like like things like that are happening. It's not like it's like that bad in Apex.
Yeah, the one thing I think would be better from Respawn's standpoint is having it available to the tournaments to have different patches available to click or like choose that the lobby will be playing on. So for example, if they do something like that in the future, then the tournament can say, hey guys, yes, on the game right now for the last few days it has been this, but we're going to play on this patch that everyone was used to. Because in Counter-Strike, I dabbled in Counter-Strike at like competitive levels, but I know about the pro scene, and if they added something in that was busted before a tournament, then if the player community was freaking out because they've been practicing for, you know, months to prepare for that tournament, and then they just switch up the meta, they would actually play on the old patch so that it would be what the pros were ready for and expecting. So it was like a fair playing ground for everybody, and it's just not like up to RNG of who figured out the meta first in the last 3 days.
See, I like that aspect as a viewer, but I know being a pro, it's like terrible, you know, because I do like seeing all these pro teams. Like, it's not, well, I mean, TSM was winning like every single time for a while, but now it's kind of like all, you know, a bunch of different teams are winning now. So I kind of like that RNG aspect, but I just know it sucks for them. And for the amount of money they win, it's like kind of not worth it.
Yeah, and it kind of snowballs down, right? If you have pros either just becoming jaded or not winning enough, then teams drop them, and then there's just less teams to root for, and then you kind of get less viewership, and then that's when games kind of start to crumble down. And
Yep.
CS has been so popular for so long, I think mainly due to the fact that their developers listen so intently to the top pro and community scene. But it does not hurt. A lot of people will hear me say that and be like, you're an elitist. But that it does not hurt the casual Counter-Strike players in the slightest how the meta is. And I think that's something that anyone needs to understand about any game. The meta will literally never affect a casual player. It just won't. Like, it does not matter what guns are good or bad in gold for Apex Legends, or what legends are good and bad in gold. Like, I'm a dirty smurfer, and for the last few weeks I've been smurfing a whole bunch. I've seen every legend running around in bronze, silver, and gold, you know, at different times. And the second you hit diamond 3 and up, you're gonna see the same comps kind of run over and over again. So casual play is never affected by what a meta of a game is. So I think making the meta enjoyable, at the very least enjoyable for the top players and the people who make content and are like at a top level for it, that's probably in the best interest of any large game. Because even like Enoch said, when they added the sword into Fortnite, it was like a laughing stock essentially of the tournament, because the guy who won, it was like, did he really even deserve it when all these other people had been practicing for so long? It doesn't feel good. You know, they don't just change the rules in baseball and in hockey. And I think that's something the game industry has to face. That, I know this is a little off topic of Apex, but, you know, it's still our industry that we're all trying to work in. And I think it's definitely important to make sure that people know that there's some consistency for competition. Because if there's no consistency, people can't really compete correctly. And it will hurt, in the long run, the game and the game's integrity.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they just need to. Well, I think the bad thing with Apex is, since they don't listen to any of the pros, like, you constantly have all these big streamers just constantly complaining about your game. And I mean, that's just bad for viewership in general. Like, if a new person just comes in like, oh, you know, let me watch some Apex, clicks on the top person, let's say Hal, and Hal's just like saying this game's trash, like, it's just really bad. And then that person's probably not even gonna try Apex at that point, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, they just keep doing really bad changes, and it's, I mean, I could tell, like, dude, the player base, season 6 is gonna come out, and, you know, it'll be popping for about a month, and then if they don't do anything, or it's just bad all of a sudden, you know, it's gonna be dead for another like 2 months after that at least. And then, like, I've noticed it in my viewership too, like, you know, people are, you know, I'll be like, oh, you guys still playing Apex? Everyone's like, oh no, I'm playing COD now, I'm playing this now, and
Yeah,
they're just like
I get
tired of
that.
it, you know? And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, like, I mean, I like the game, I guess, just because, you know, the movement and all that. So I would be playing it no matter what, even if I wasn't streaming. But like, it's just, so many people just like give up on the game, and I mean, they just need to start making moves and listening to the community, honestly.
Yeah, I agree with that. With, like, they need to focus on balance and also core, fixing problems with the core game, like bugs, that, like, general things, and hackers. The fact that I understand that there are cheaters and they will exist, but the systems they could put in place for cheaters to not thrive within the game are so simple. And I saw a tweet the other day saying something along the lines of, like, we need to give them a break or something. And I was like, no, like, why are cheaters still running rampant? Like, oh, you can't stop cheaters. Yes, you can. You can make it harder to cheat in the game so that less people do it. Or if they do cheat, they have to try harder to hide it so that they don't get banned, instead of running around blatantly aimbotting everybody and then getting Predator. Like, how do you get top 500? How many top 500 Predators have you seen, Sean, personally, in your grind this season?
That are cheating, or like, what do you mean?
Like, just blatant aimbotters that are like Predator or even Masters.
Oh,
I'll throw that in there.
Oh, if you throw a Masters, quite a few, man. I've also seen quite a few Preds too. Literally, when they did, they banned like a bunch of cheaters. Like, they did like a ban wave thing,
Yeah.
and I moved up like, I think, 20 spots without even playing.
Holy crap, that's actually insane.
Yeah, it's actually nuts. Like, ask anyone. Everyone moved up, and like, why did we move up? Usually we move down, and it was because there's so many cheaters.
Wow.
That's just ridiculous. Like, how do you get to that point? And that's the thing I don't understand. And now they have a guy, which I respect to him for trying that, like the guy on Twitter, and no hate to the dude, but like that's not a guy's problem. That's like a system that needs to be implemented into the game that automatically bans players who are running around getting 100% headshot rates. Like, I wouldn't even be upset if they implemented something to where if you got too many headshots or like you hit too many rounds in a row in some degree, the game kind of just like removed you from that game. And then that's it. It didn't ban you, it didn't kick you, but then your name was just flagged and it would be reviewed or seen. And if that happened too many times, then you'd get banned. But no real player would ever do the threshold enough. And they could figure that out. I'm not a math guy. And it's like a developer could figure that out to someone who's shooting someone in the head all the time. So what does that do? Well, the blatant cheaters will instantly be banned. And the ones who are trying not to get banned will have to turn their cheats down a bit. So then if you're an actually good player, you'll still kill them. Like the other night, I actually killed a cheater as Caustic because I ultimated him. I was solo queuing in Diamond, and I killed a guy who I'm pretty sure was cheating because I ulted him. But it's like that's besides the point in the sense of why is this dude in even Diamond, let alone getting to top 500 Pred, when they could also make the season pass required on an account to play ranked. Anyone who wants to actually play the game would not mind paying $15 to play ranked. What do you guys think about that? That's actually probably the biggest thing of my entire rant there. What do you guys think about having to pay for a pass to play ranked?
I mean, honestly, I don't know if like everyone has the money to even spend, what is it, like $10, especially like a younger kid. And then they're just not able to play ranked.
Yeah, I think that would change their business model a bit too much because right now they're advertised as a free game and then they rely on cosmetics. So in order to actually purchase like a pass just to play part of the game, it would be nice, but I feel like it would go against their business model and
would
overall
that matter though? Really, for ranked
I feel
only?
like
Everything
it would
else
get
you
negative
get whatever you
feedback,
want.
a lot of negative feedback in my opinion. A lot of people wouldn't like that. They wouldn't understand it because if you think about it, man, like most of the player base is console as well, and there's not any cheaters on console. So then they would have to pay for a battle pass that, like, in order to play ranked, where
Well, then all
it
of the
won't matter
people
for
doing
them.
that are paying already to play on, like, they're paying to play on their console. I
Yeah,
personally, just even little kids, I don't know who can't afford $15 every, what do we get a new season, like 4 to 5 months? Like, I personally don't think that would be that big of a deal. I understand where you guys are coming from, though, but I just don't think that would be that big of a deal.
yeah, I don't know. I can see some people not being happy about that. That's all. I feel like it's a lot more people than we think.
Yeah, I think Reddit community would just go crazy and say like they're just trying to get our money from us. Because you got to remember, most people that are probably going to complain about that too are going to be casuals who don't even like get past diamond, or don't even get
Yeah.
past plat. So they're not even. I mean, yeah, they deal with hackers for like a small second, but then those hackers just get to our ranks basically. So like,
Mhm.
they're not going to care. It's really just the hardcore community. I think just maybe I don't know, like a 2-factor authenticator or something.
Oh, that
Yeah,
would
I was
Uh,
thinking of that. Like, that's not a bad
that's even
idea,
better.
but no, it's a great idea. But the only problem with that, man, is like PC queue times are already really rough, and I feel like maybe adding like 2FA could actually impact it even further. Because like at nights, dude, like in the beginning of the season and mid-season, I have to wait like 10 to 15 minutes at times. So like
oh
like hurting like the queue times would suck even further. That's the one
no,
thing.
yeah, that's one thing that turns me away from ranked is just sitting in lobby. It just like kills my vibe for like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think I think crossplay should be, or rank should be crossplay just so we have fast queue times. And then, I mean, I think that would just solve it.
Yeah.
But then you
If
have,
ranked
the
isn't
PC
crossplay,
console battle.
oh, and then the aim assist that I know Enoch will be able to speak to that. But
It's different on console.
exactly,
Definitely stronger.
it's like the magnetization, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like 0.4 on PC and 0.6 on console, so you have 50% more aim assist, and it feels
Yeah.
like it's double.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
definitely noticed that when I played.
50% aim assist when I play on console. I'm just like, it feels like literally like borderline aimbot.
And there's no way they would be able to change that, right? They probably wouldn't do that to console people.
I feel like they have to.
Well, see, with the way that they're doing crossplay, I doubt they're gonna have crossplay. I don't think crossplay is gonna have anything to do with ranked.
Really,
Well,
I really hope that's
the way
not
that
it.
it's set up is that you only, if you're on like Xbox or PS4, the only time you're gonna play against PC players is if you have one in your lobby. So crossplay really is gonna barely affect
Yeah.
PC, and I don't think they're gonna. I don't know. I just don't see them mixing ranked. Having
Well,
it
aren't they doing like now top 500 is just like across all platforms? It's not even like top 500 PC. Like now top 500 is PC, Xbox, and PS4.
If that's how they're doing it, then literally
It's
every
stupid.
PC player is gonna
Rip
get
PC,
mad
dude.
because like PC like it's just gonna be stupid.
Yeah, that's
It's
what I heard though. I'm not sure.
like if like I don't remember how much RP Zed farmed in season 3, but it was like a disgustingly high amount.
I think
I know
that just goes
last
to like
what-
changing who, to just differentiate, show a differentiation. If we're all having crossplay, like they should also do an account merge. I think where people are able to get their stats. Sure, if they don't get skins, whatever, because they want their money. But stats should merge for all platforms, in my opinion. But it should just say where you have the kills. Like PS4 this many, and then like PC this many for like a character or something. But and then for what you guys saying for ranked, definitely I don't think it'd be a good idea to make everything just all one mashed together 500. It would be better for it to say like somewhere on the character banner that we're looking at loading into the game, what platform they're on, and then like what rank they are. And if it were in top pred games, you would see like Xbox pred number whatever, or like obviously stylized more than that, but like PC or PS4, so you could easily in-game recognize it. Because I mean, if you look at Twitch and streamers, that's what they're always saying, like number something on Xbox this, you know. And so they're differentiating themselves there. Why not put it into the game? I don't really know how I feel about crossplay yet, to be honest. I kept saying I'm excited to farm 20 bombs again, and then I played console and saw the aim assist, and I was like, I don't know if I might just get my ass beat by golds all the time.
Dude, the Havoc before they nerfed it on console was disgusting.
I can only imagine it literally and
I went
figuratively
back
was a
for
laser
like
beam.
a day to play with Fen. So like that was the only reason I was ever gonna hop back on the PS4. And bro, it's like the aim assist is there just insane.
Someone who went from going from console to PC, do you think that when the crossplay was like, do you think that all console players could deal with if they were like, hey, we reduced the aim assist a little bit? I know people get mad. I think I will say for moving forward, like the community getting mad isn't really something we should discuss on whether or not we think a change is good or not. Like we should make the decision on if the change is good or not, and regardless if people get mad, because people are going to get mad no matter what they do. It's you know, if you give someone a brick of gold, they'd probably complain it weighs too much. You know what I mean? So you can't make everybody happy. But do you think that they could reduce the console aim assist, and it would like people would still be able to play it to the relative point that they do now? Just to make it across the board the same.
I guess. I think if that you are gonna do that, I know you said that it doesn't matter what but like if you decreased the console aim assist and made it the same as PC, and then at the same time then have those console players go and play against PC players, like they're literally, that's like the absolute quickest way to anger the almost entirety of Apex's player base.
Yeah, I agree.
Wait,
I
so
would
you
I
think
would give
console
them
players
like a
would get mad?
season. Yeah, dude, you gotta I would say give them a season to get used to just going against each other with lower aim assist, and that's like what, 4 or 5 months, and then introduce crossplay with PC and console players. Because I mean, 3 to 4 months of getting used to that aim assist being lowered, I mean that's enough time to get used to it, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, because when I get killed sometimes on PC, and I'm like, I think that guy's cheating. Actually, wait, he might be on controller. I don't know. Let me spectate him. And so like, because getting killed by a controller player feels the same sometimes as getting killed by an aimbotter, just because they can just beam you so hard, and that's on PC. So I'm thinking that it wouldn't matter, because I know of so many players that went from console to PC and used controller, and they played just as they did on console. Like they only
It's a
the only
little bit
difference
of
is there's movement change.
it takes like a little bit of adjustment for your aim. 100p.
Yeah, you have the perspective, man. What do you think was like? You said the aim, was it weird seeing people when they're looting, like moving and stuff?
I mean, it wasn't like weird. I mean, I think it's the absolute. It's the like. I think it's the like dumbest thing ever that you can't move and loot on controller, because there's literally zero reason that I use my right stick to look around in my game the entire time, and I move with my left. But then when I go into a box, I have to look with my left stick. Like that makes absolutely no sense to me.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make any sense why I can't use my right stick to look through my menu and pick out my loot and then move with my left. Um, but like there's like ways that you can you can like crouch spam now if you have it on R3. I don't. I mean I don't. But like I can like jump right before I start looting, and then I can do like a quick armor swap like before I hit the ground. But like there are like the amount of controller players that can pull that off are like low.
Yeah.
Because like there's even like gross controller players who just haven't taken the time to like get good at looting yet.
Yeah, that does make sense. I think reaching back to something we were talking about a second ago about the queues, and that could lead into a discussion on skill-based matchmaking. As you guys know, I love skill-based matchmaking. Have so much fun with it. I've never complained about it once. But the queues for ranked specifically, regardless of crossplay, I think the easiest fix and the biggest problem with queues, even not even talking about skill-based matchmaking, is that there are too many servers, and then the ways that the servers come together don't make sense to me. So if you have all these servers that are in the East and they're all full, cool, keep people who are on the same ping together so it's the most fair. But if you have all of NA that at some point, if it's super late, are thrown in one pot, and some people have 60 ping and some people have 20, how much does that affect a game like Apex? Because I know a game like CS that might be kind of important because you have pinpoint stuff, but I don't think I've ever been killed in Apex and lost specifically because some dude had better ping than me. Now, in the moment, if I died, I was like, I got shot around the wall. Way, like, yeah, I was mad about that, but the reason I was in that situation was because my team got dumpstered around me and we didn't play correctly. So that's the reason we lost. So I think that more servers coming together would be better in the end. Does that sound like a viable change to you guys? To make
Yeah,
the queue
definitely.
times less?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, to when the queue times start dying out, like they do put everybody in one lobby, because like I've been on East, and then like I would see Johnny in my games, and then like lobbies would start to die out, and then I would go to his chat and I'd be like, yo, like, are you still on East? And he's like, bro, we've been on West the whole time, but we were playing in the same lobbies.
Because
So
I
I
know
think they
that
already
there's
do
so
that.
many servers. So it might do that to a small degree, but I feel like to a large degree, it does not. Or what if like the server was known as something? No, that would be no. Yeah, it's something that you can't control. So if you're sitting in an NA server, and then it's like, hey, we just put you in an EU server, in ranked, right? And then it's you cannot make that choice. There's nothing you can do to make it happen. So if it happens, and they're like, you are. And also, if you're lagging in Apex, you have an advantage, which never makes sense. But if it was in a perfect world where you are kind of lagging a little bit, and now you're at the disadvantage, it's just like you get a slight amount of RP, like loss forgiveness automatically because it's not your server. Is that just absolutely stupid what I just said, or does that sound like something that could be done just to reduce queue times?
Well, I think you just put like the number of players currently searching. So when you go to like you press tab and then you look at like all the servers, just
Yeah.
just show which ones are popular, so everyone just goes to that server basically, rather than like I know there's times where I'm on a server, someone else is on the server, like the whole squad is just on a different server, so we can just keep swapping and see which server is like the most popular, So I think if they just put a number, it would be better because then everyone would just hop on that one server basically.
I actually like the idea a lot. I
Yeah,
didn't
I
think
think
about
that would
that
make
at
it
all.
good.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
It's funny because while I like that idea and I agree with you, it comes back to kind of like the cheater thing. Like should not be our problem. Like I've never played a game where a queue time has been like millions of players, yet I can't find 60 people to play a game in like 10 minutes. You know what I mean? That doesn't compute in my head. Like why are we waiting so long? And I understand even at ranked, but in ranked as well, I don't understand that. Like I don't understand how that works even. It
Well,
should
I
be a
mean,
little
I think
faster.
rank's just dead right now too, though. Like,
That makes
I mean,
sense.
dude, I've been seeing freaking, teams that I see rank all the time. Predators just playing pubs, like all of them three stacking together too, and it's like, no one's playing ranked. Like lately, when I've been playing pubs, it's been unplayable, dude. Just like crazy, crazy, insane players all in the same lobby. So, I mean, that's also why rank's dead. They just need to do a better job of, um, making sure the meta is good and the I mean, just doing that, so then people actually want to play ranked.
Yeah, I'll be honest. This split has been the least grindy of like from what I've seen. Because last
Yeah.
split, Pred like top 500 ended at what like 17k, 17.5k RP, and this split it's ending at like 15k.
I was gonna
So
ask you
like
that earlier when you said that. I was gonna say, wasn't it much higher last season or last
yeah,
split when I was talking to you about it?
yeah, exactly. And that's just an indication of how people aren't grinding. Like I have so many friends who just haven't been playing ranked, and that's for the like, and it's just due to cheaters and then the current meta. That's basically it. Mainly cheaters
Oh,
though. But
I'm
yeah.
D2 this split.
Yeah, I
I'm
was literally
stuck here.
D2 like 2 days ago,
Mhm.
And then you
and
got
then same
matches
thing.
with
Back
some
barely
trash
touched it
players.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Some of the most fun I had the other day was just solo queuing Diamond 4 and getting put into like plat games or getting gold players on my team, and just literally not having to care but playing in ranked. And I had more fun than public matches. It was easier than public matches for me on my main account.
Well, that's the sad thing is like low ranks is easier than pubs at this point for the most part.
100p.
Yeah, it's
And
true.
we touched on three stacking a little bit. I personally like if you're three stacking and like even if you're sweats, like I don't mind it if you guys are just vibing and you guys are just playing your own thing. Like the thing that gets me absolutely tight is when you get these kids that are literally just holding each other's pockets the entire game and they're replacing, they're like coordinating, they're like taking all the different angles. Like when that happens to me when I'm solo queuing in a pub, bro, it literally is just is so annoying. And then like majority of the times they're not, like they'll teabag you after.
Yeah. No, I feel that too.
But even with like three stackers, even if they're not necessarily like trying super hard, it's still super hard to like 1v3 that squad if you're just solo queuing. I think
Yeah.
it was like Tanner or something, from TSM. I think or Vis, someone like that, who tweeted like Apex is one of the worst BRs for solos. Like,
Mhm.
Fortnite was better because you could just play solos, H1Z1, just a bunch of different games. So it's like I think they just need to reduce skill-based matchmaking, and if you're solo queuing in pubs, you should go against nothing but solo queues. Or
Yeah,
if you
100%.
want skill-based matchmaking, stop giving me level 20s that have never played this game before, Like, give me some. I want to see. I don't think I've ever had another Predator on my team before. Ever.
Bro, I had one the other day. It was a Wraith. I literally typed out, just like spammed my keyboard, all these letters, and then I was like, bro, another Pred. He was a Wraith. He dropped by himself and died off rip. And I was like, you motherfucker, you were the one. You were the one. We were supposed to win this game. I was supposed to have a good time, and you threw the game.
That
Sounds
sounds
like
about
me.
right.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Because I know
I
every time
have
I
a-
play with Enoch, he never wants a 3-stack. I'm sorry, Sean. I didn't want to interrupt you.
No worries, no worries. No, I want to touch on an idea that you mentioned earlier, and like what Reap was saying. So like, a cool idea to kind of like get around this whole issue is like how when you load in a game, you're on a specific server such as Oregon or like Salt Lake or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And then you start the queue up, and it starts like people start joining that server. Instead of having like really close like Netics servers, perhaps have like just a bigger area, like maybe like all of West Coast or something, and then like what Reap is saying, reduce skill-based matchmaking and then sort people by triple stacking and solo queuing. Because then queues would not only be quicker, but then you would also have people who are just solos in one server and then triple stacking the other server, just like Reap was saying. And then queue time wouldn't be affected too bad since it already starts in a larger region.
And like,
I agree with
if
that.
there's the solo queue, you know, like you can still play trios, but you're solo queuing. Like if I see Enoch in my game, if I see you, Sean, in my game, I just have to worry about you guys, not a whole like, you know, group of predators basically. So like, you know, they could keep skill-based matchmaking, honestly, but as long as we're all solo queuing, I think that would be fine. But it's just skill-based matchmaking with all the 3-stackers. That's just when it gets overboard.
Yeah,
There's just
that's
multiple
very true.
predator squads, and then it's like, well, like for example, there was one game where I was playing, and I knew 3 of my buddies were playing together, and they're all preds. And I mean, I was like fragging out, I was kill leader, and I even told my chat, I was like, okay, guys, they're in my game. I guarantee you, we're gonna lose because I have, you know, 2 like level 10s on my team, and it's gonna come down to the last, you know, wire basically. And yeah, we were the 2 last squads, and I got dumpstered. I mean, they all just peeked me at the same time, and I was just dead. Like, there's no way I ever win that.
Oh, I had a similar experience when I realized that like 2 guys that I knew were 3 stacking, and I literally was like, I was co-leader, I was popping off, and it literally like there was 3 squads left, and I was like, oh, hopefully we can get this nice 3P, and then there was just 2 squads left, and I was like, I literally know that I'm gonna die because my 2 teammates have like the equivalent of like gray armor, and I'm just sitting here, and I'm just gonna like I know I'm gonna get dumpstered.
I mean,
and then I got dumpstered.
I remember, I just remember this one game when I was just popping off, going crazy. I'm pretty sure Reap was there helping me get kills.
20 bomb
And
game,
then,
right?
It was gonna be a 20 bomb game, and then I was killing a team, and we got third partied by this absolutely grimy, sweaty, fucking 2-stack team. I was on crypto, by the way, and my 20 bomb just got fully. Wait a minute. Oh, that was Enoch. No, I was kidding. That was the one time though that I definitely like. I was like, it really showed me when Enoch killed me there in that game, because I was like, we had such control of that entire map, the other side of the map, than Enoch's team did. Like, we were the 2-star teams in that game. We happened to land in separate places, wiped everybody around us, and then when we came together to fight, yeah, and I was just like,
and then by rolled I mean I shot him with like 2 bolts of an R9 and grief this game.
I wish I knew, because I kind of know Rowdy, who he was playing with. And I would have gone into Enoch's stream, no cap, and just been like, bro, I'm in your game right now, sitting in a corner. I have 14 kills. There's 2 squads. Please leave the other squad alone. Let me kill them. Let me kill you guys. I'll give 10 subs right now. And if he doesn't take that, he's just either or someone who doesn't need any money at all, or he's just insanely ethical. And I just gotta hope that never happens. And I'm always on the lookout for those situations, because the day it happens, I'm gonna go into someone's stream and I'm gonna be like, listen, you can make some money right now if you just fuck off and don't kill me so I can get this 20 bomb. If someone came into my game and said that, I'd be like, hey man, I'll do it for free, because I understand that feeling. It keeps me up at night sometimes when you lose out on a 20 bomb. But yeah, skill-based matchmaking, the biggest problem with it is that it makes queue times so damn long and punishes players who play a lot, and I don't get that at all. Like, you don't want to punish your content creators and your streamers, you know? We're the ones who are sitting in queue and need gameplay to keep rolling, not sitting there like in unranked waiting for a queue to pop for 5 minutes. Because, I mean, even the other day, and this is where a discussion point I think with you, Enoch, I wanted to talk about. I remember this happening when I was playing with you the other day when you were streaming, and I wanted to ask you about this specifically, because we were playing and we couldn't play duos because the queue just took way too long. Yeah, which I know in part has to do with skill-based matchmaking. And at one point, we were losing, and I think I said something along the lines of like, "Why do you think this is happening?" And I don't remember what was said, but I said it was skill-based matchmaking, and you were like, "I don't really think it's skill-based matchmaking." And I was like, "Oh, that might be an interesting thing to talk about on the podcast, because a lot of stuff in the game I blame on skill-based matchmaking for why some things happen." So on like a day-to-day basis when you're streaming, I mean, day-to-day in the sense of like you are going from day-to-day because you farm 24-hour streams, like you farm players in the game. How much of that do you think when you're not playing ranked are you affected by skill-based matchmaking personally? I want to
I
hear
mean,
everyone's opinion on this, starting with
I just
Enoch.
don't even know like how to answer that question, just because like I haven't seen what the other side of skill-based matchmaking looks like on PC in like so long. I just have no idea what that world is. Like you said that you like Smurf a decent amount, and like I was really surprised when you were talking about how much quicker your queue times were, and just the fact that you never saw really the same people.
Yeah.
Um, so I have like no idea about like the other side of skill-based matchmaking really.
Okay. I want to touch on what you just said, and I don't want to be like, explaining it to you and be like, well, here's how it is. But I definitely want to talk about what you just said then too. 'Cause that's
Well,
a
I
bit smart.
definitely get like why it happens and how there's
Yeah.
like a significant amount of like less talented players that like I'm just never gonna receive. But then I don't get how like I don't run into all of these players, but then my teammates that I get are just dog meat.
Well, that's the
Yeah,
skill-based matchmaking. That's the algorithm saying, well, okay, Enoch is very high ranked, Reap is high ranked, Sean is high ranked, Bax is high ranked in KD as well as in actual ranked. So they are placed with us because the thought process is this guy's really good, these guys really aren't. Now it's fair. Now they're all, but that's Apex is a team-oriented game. So unless you're running across a team you can absolutely roll, you're not ever going to 1v2 or 1v3, especially with the gun layout we have now.
I mean, I win my twos backs.
Well, you're a controller player.
I mean, I got it.
I
My
can't tell you how
R9.
many times Enoch's run off, and I just hear like, and then 2 people are dead, and I'm like, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that in a million years. Like they move too much, and I'm too inconsistent with like the few bullets I will miss. But Sean, what is your experience streaming or just playing in general with skill-based matchmaking when you're trying to roll unranked?
Bro, I'll be honest, man. Ranked, it makes sense. For pubs, I literally don't play too many pubs. I'll probably play like
Would you say
5
that's
pubs.
why?
No, to be honest, the reason why I don't play pubs is because I don't know, getting a dub in ranked just feels so much more satisfying. Getting kills in ranked, like everything just feels satisfying. And pubs is like, I don't really have like a goal or motive. I just don't really care too much. So
Well,
that's my reason.
If there was no skill-based matchmaking and there was like a realistic player base we were going against, kind of like the early days of Apex, my goal outside of ranked would be to drop like a 20 bomb on every legend. And that would have already happened, in my opinion, if skill-based matchmaking didn't exist. But I do understand what you're saying. I remember, I think Enoch and I actually, it was the other day when I was playing with you, we were running out of zone to go fight these people. And you guys have to understand, like, Enoch wasn't in Tilt City. Like, he wasn't driving into Tilt City. Like, he had rented an apartment in Tilt City. He was living there permanently. That's how tilted Enoch was during this time. And I think he was like 18 or 20 or 22 hours into his 24 stream, like seventh 24-hour stream in the last month. So Enoch was tilted. But our teammate, I remember just like, you just hear that like really shitty mic. He's just like, hey guys, why are you going out of zone to fight? And Enoch, it was just like, so that we can kill people. And I was like, so we can fight? I said, we've won so many times. We don't care about winning. We just want to go have fun. We want the dopamine rush of fighting another team. We don't want to sit around waiting for them for our non-existent KP.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that actually makes sense because that 100%, man, that's actually my thought process, Sean, about it. And I was thinking like, because I would have been grinding. I would have been a person for sure to grind rank with. Like, you could have asked me anytime and I would have done it this split if I didn't have, if cheaters didn't exist at the level that they did. And that just burned me out really hard on it. So then in my mind, I'm like, what is my goal now? I can't really play pubs without getting destroyed by, skill-based matchmaking. So that's why I smurfed to like make content and to actually enjoy streaming, and then I could play with viewers. Because if I bring in viewers or subs, most of them are lower ranks than I am. So when we play, I'm like, they're not going to have any fun playing with me other than just being like, yeah, I'm playing with Bax. That's it, because we're going to get rolled by everybody. And it's the same with when I just get random teammates and they're like, whoa, a Predator's on my team. And then we get destroyed and they're like, I thought you were a Predator. And
I hate when that
like,
happens.
what am I supposed to do, man? We're going against 3. Now I just tell them I bought my account on eBay for $15. And that I'm not actually good. But I don't know, man. It definitely frustrates me. I've gabbed too much. What about you, Reap? What do you think about skill-based matchmaking?
Well, I mean, dude, I play on Salt Lake, so I know a lot of people that play on the Salt Lake servers, and anytime I play pubs, I'm seeing the same names 24/7. And then when the like even the top grinders who play ranked, I'm seeing them in my lobbies. Like I see Baron, a Prizzy, like I see them in my pubs. So like my pubs are just like super sweaty, and like the argument is people, they say like, well, I don't want to be going against like predators, so that's why they're skill based matchmaking. But like, okay, go play ranked in your gold lobby. Go against your same skill level. That is the skill based matchmaking. So I feel like pubs should just be no skill based matchmaking. Like there's literally no point for it.
Yeah, well,
Maybe like, okay,
you
yeah,
can't lose
if
anything.
you're yeah, like dude, literally, I had someone come in my stream a couple days ago and say, "Oh, what glitch did you do to get into a bot lobby?" Because he was like a level 20 and he was on my team. I was like, "Dude, I just queued up. Like that's just how skill based matchmaking is." And he was all pissed off at me. He was like, "Dude, if you want to play against bad players, like just go play in your gold rank or whatever." Like I don't
Yeah.
get why he was complaining. So there's really no reason when you have a ranked mode and just a normal public match to have skill based matchmaking. Like if it was only public matches and no ranked, then yeah, skill based matchmaking is fine. But there's there's two categories and they both shouldn't have it basically.
And just from what you just said, whether or not that guy should be upset, that's interesting because like imagine being a newer player and getting put into a lobby with a predator, and because of skill-based matchmaking, that's just instant death for you. It's not like, because there is that feeling both ways. When you first started playing Apex in the first month, let's say, and you got destroyed by a Wraith with a 4K20 bomb, for me personally, I was like, let me watch this guy for a minute, learn from him, and see what he did. Like, I want to be that good. And I think that any player who's going to play is going to have that mentality, and anyone who's like, meh, they're going to quit in a couple of weeks anyway, so it doesn't matter. It does not matter if they're skill-based matchmaking or not. For those casual players, they will quit regardless. Trying to keep them to play the game is just going to hurt the game in the long run because you've jaded your top content or top players and your content creators, and that would just create a snowball effect down to make everybody stop playing the game. Because when your content creators stop playing it, no one else is going to really play it because there's no one to like look up to aspire to be like.
I think that's why everyone plays ranked nowadays too. Like all the top streamers, because pubs is just unplayable. Like literally every top streamer is basically playing ranked 24/7. Not even going for number one. I mean, some of them are going for number one, but most of them just play ranked all day because it's just more enjoyable than skill-based matchmaking pubs basically.
Yeah, I mean, I agree because Split 1 of Season 5, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I met Sean and his boy Josh, and one other guy that was playing Wraith, I can't remember his name off top, that I played with Sean. Super enjoyable to play with you guys, and I was having fun, and I was like, dude, I'm excited for Split 2. Like, I'm genuinely considering grinding ranked and, like, trying to get as much RP as possible, maybe even get top 500. And then we get there, I get Rev ulted a billion times. Couple days later, I'm like, all right, I'll give it another chance. I told Sean I'd play it. I don't want to look flaky. I'm looking on Twitter, cheater clips left and right. I'm watching streams. Everyone just looks miserable even when they're playing ranked. There's just cheaters and revs everywhere. And I was like, I think I'm going to take a break. And then I thought to myself, I have two choices next season in Season 6. I can literally let my main account's rank degrade because in reality, other than at the time saying you are pred, there's really no real reward for hitting pred other than a little charm or a badge.
That's a huge problem too.
Yeah.
That's a huge problem. Because like look at the pros. They don't even grind ranked. Well, not I mean obviously not all of them, but like most of them don't even some of them don't even hit masters, like they genuinely don't care. So I feel like top 500 pred has to be rewarding. Like something cool. Like I don't know, dude. Maybe you get a wraith skin or something, just something like that's actually rewarding. Because I remember the first season of rank, like I mean hitting predator and just those games were nonstop, pros and just super sweaty games, but that was like the best time of ranked, I would say. Whereas now it's like it seems like nobody really cares.
No,
Like
Yeah,
seeing
actually, that's 100% facts.
like,
Literally, like, sorry, go ahead.
well, just like seeing a pro and he's like D4, and not because he's not good, but it's obviously he just hasn't played ranked. Like that's really sad, dude. That's just sad that he doesn't even want to hit predator. Like I don't know, that's just crazy to me.
You straight up last split, I hit pred, right? And then this split, I was at some points I wasn't really playing rank too much, and I was like on the verge of dropping out of pred, and I was like, do I even bother? Because all I get right now is an animated badge, opposed to one that's static. Like that's my only reward for getting pred this split, and it's like I don't know, the rewards are so weak. I didn't even think about it, but yeah, they're all so weak, and it really just means it doesn't mean much at all. I get like a badge, a trail, and like I think that's it. Maybe I don't know what else I get to be honest. So they
I-
And
really
like
gotta boost it up a
like I
bit.
said too, like back in season 1 of ranked, everyone wanted to hit pred too because that was when like the competitive was kind of starting. So it was like if I'm a predator, I have a higher chance of like getting signed and stuff like that. Like now being top 500 pred doesn't necessarily matter. I mean, like you're amazing anymore. The competition. It's mainly obviously you got to be good, but
It's a
like
battle
it's
of
mainly
will.
who grinded the most, and
Yeah.
it's not necessarily like about who's really the best anymore. Like it's just like who grinded the most and who can actually play ranked.
But
But
I
they
have a
just
lot of respect for Sean for the fact that he was able to play the game and not go insane
Yeah.
against cheaters
Yeah.
and like revs everywhere.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
where
like the
I
number one
respect it.
thing, dude. That is
Yeah.
insane. That is awesome. Yeah. I mean, I didn't even want to hit masters due to how bad ranked was. So for you to keep playing ranked and hit pred, like that's crazy. That's awesome.
Bro, Enoch
Yeah,
and
I
I,
almost,
we're out
almost
here
dropped out.
repping diamond this split.
Yes, sir.
Even Enoch
I'm
doing
back.
24-hour streams, dude. I can't even do a 4-hour stream nowadays with the pubs. Like I literally can't. 4 hours, I'm like, all right, I'm done. I got teabagged by these 3 stacking shitties.
No, yeah, I
I
feel that
live in the
too.
pubs.
How do you do it, Enoch? How do you mentally stay sane to pull those off? Because that's already hard anyway, just as a human being to stay up for that long. But just like playing Apex the whole time, how do you do that?
Caffeine and just not caring.
That's
like the
probably
only way.
key. Yeah. Wise words.
You just can't.
Yeah.
Like once I realize that when typically most of the time when I realize that I'm heading down that road to where like I'm getting like mad, I'll literally be like, all right, I'm taking like a 10-minute break, and then I'll literally just go and I'll like lay down on my bed and just chill on my phone for like 10 minutes, just
Yeah.
get a nice mental reset, and then and then before I come back, I'll just be like, you know what, I just don't care, I just do not care what happens, and I'll just like it really just comes down to not letting the game win. I was talking about that with Term when I was playing with him this morning because we were two stacking, and we like for like even with two stacking for like a solid like probably like hour and a half. I don't think we made it out. We probably didn't make it out of spawn more than a handful of games.
Yeah, no, it's
And it's
definitely
just
rough.
yeah, like a lot of like the amount of times, especially like when you're in those morning queues and you wait so long to find a game, and then you get in a game and then you just die because you just get bad RNG and the guy gets like purple and double mastiff. Like
What are you supposed to do?
yeah, like you're like, all right, well that was super cool, super frustrating. Now I gotta go wait 5 more minutes.
Dude, actually, when I was playing with you the other day, I had your stream on another monitor because I think you disconnected or something. I was looking at it, and we were playing, and I remember reading your chat, and someone was like, "Back seems to die really fast all the time," and I was just like, "What do you want me to do,
Someone
man?"
said he was like, Bax is dying off rip a lot. And I was just like,
what
it
do you
happens.
want me to do? Like, I'm landing, I grab like a P20, and I'm like, all right, and then I get mastiffed, and I'm like, okay, well, if the tables were turned, if I lose that, then I'm just bad, But like, when am I gonna lose that fight?
No, that's so true.
Yeah, I saw that and I laughed. I was just like, dude, I don't know what these guys want me to do, man. Like, I'm trying to just help Enoch.
I
Here,
was just
keep
like,
his
yeah, I
sanity.
die off rip all the time. That's like why my KD is like only like a like 3.5 or something like that. Is because I literally just die off rip all the time.
Yeah,
But
no,
that's what's so sad is like it seems like Apex, like the whole like just player base is like so negative now. Like even like the pros and stuff, like dude, I'll be playing ranked, kill a pro squad, and it's just them like nonstop like talking shit and just making excuses, And it's like, dude, like it's so sad just seeing the whole community just like constantly negative, honestly. Like you don't see too many like positive people
Dude,
anymore.
I think one of the silliest things. So I think it was Rogue who tweeted out a rule regarding like fighting other friends and teams, and it's like a 60-second rule. So 60 seconds before and after the fight, you're allowed to say whatever you want, and it means nothing. That's what he
Yeah.
tweeted out, and a lot of people really just like that rule, and I was not one of those people because it promotes so much toxicity, and like it's like who wants to like okay, well, say you're like a D3 or something, you get merged with like a pred, and like a prize or something, and you love him, he's like your idol, you kill him, and you go to the VOD, and you just see him saying this kid is crap, they're so bad, they're all trash, like. Bro, who wants to see that? Who wants to hear that? That's just so negative. Like I
I
hate
mean,
that
I
rule
make
in
a choice
general.
I
to
think
not do that.
it comes down to ego, honestly. And like
100%.
for example, I was playing I don't know, like a month ago, and we kill, I'm not gonna say the squad name, but you know, big group of big streamers, and I mean absolutely, you know, crapped on them. Like they probably dealt like maybe 50 damage to each of us, if that. And none of us got knocked either. And they're just calling us idiots and bad players for pushing them, saying, "Oh, we had high ground." And it's like, first of all, it's ranked. Like I'm gonna W key people. You know, I'm not so serious about winning every single game. And like, it's like I feel like they have to like tell their chat as to why why they died and make excuses to make themselves like look better. You know, but I don't know. It's like I don't know. There's just so much toxicity, and it's like, dude, it's just a game at the end of the day, and most people don't take it like that anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
And I think it's the state of the game too that just makes everyone like so unhappy too. You know.
I can't tell you how many times I have killed like someone even just I might know, even if they're a small streamer, but they're a top level player, or even a big streamer, and I've killed them, and I was just like, damn, dude, that was hard fought. I mean, I think Sean, they didn't say anything bad either, so I don't mind saying their name, but like Sean and Joshy and we killed a Prizzy and who's I think Baron, and I can't remember the guy. The other
Baron,
one
a
at the
Prizzy, and
Rock.
Zero.
Yeah, and it was hard. It was a hard fight, and we won by like just a hair essentially. And I mean, they didn't say anything. The only thing that I would consider, I guess, negative is they were like, "Dude, Revenant is just brain dead." But we all agree with that clearly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I remember feeling, I was like, dude, those guys are so good. Like, I have so much respect for them, and we won. Chances are, if it happened again, would we win? Maybe not, because they're really good. But I'm not going to talk shit about people. And the thing I've always said in my chat is like, if a team kills you and rolls you, and you say, those guys suck, if they suck and they just beat you, what does that make you? It's like, that means they've like destroyed,
it's true.
like you have to be horrible, like even worse than sucking at that point. And I just don't ever want to, I want to get in the mode of it now so that when I grow, I'm not just being negative to people, because I don't want, it's like you said, and it's weird for me too, because I know some of the people who watch me and they've told me like they look up to me, and they look up to me from like a game, like playing standpoint, as well as like caustic. And I'm like, that's crazy for me to think, as small as I am. I'm like, I didn't know that, you know? And I feel, I don't even think a responsibility is the word, but I just don't want to promote being an asshole, essentially, to people. So whenever I kill people, if they came into my chat, I want them to hear like, dude, that guy's fucking cracked. That was hard. Like, that guy was hard. The other day, I actually met another streamer that I play with sometimes now who's really good, and I'm excited to play with him, because when I killed him, I went into his stream, and he was just like, that guy's good. And I was like, I respect that fucking shit. And I went into his chat and talked to him, and then we became friends off of it. You know what I mean? So you open more doors to just like meet people, and that's, at the end of the day, man, that's kind of what we want. You know, we want to just have more people to play with and people to have fun with, because it's a game. That's the point of playing games. And then as content creators, especially, when you have more people to play with that are fun and are talkative and, you know, are all three of you guys, the reason I asked all three of you guys specifically to be on this is because every time I'm playing with you, we have thoughtful discussion about the game, and if one or both of us are streaming, people in our chat are getting engaged, and I will like see the chat engage in what we're talking about, and I think that that's really important as entertainers and also just as players. Like, it's fun to me.
Yeah, I don't know. Apex just needs to step up their game for like content creators too. Like, you know, I mean, the skins are pretty bad, but people still spend a crazy amount of money on you know, skins. There should still be like, you know, how Fortnite has like the creator code. Yeah. That'd be perfect for Apex, dude. Especially for nice. Then you have more content creators too. Like, dude, if you look at Fortnite, there's so many Fortnite content creators that are all like making enough money to actually be full time, you know? Like, it's actually crazy how much support they get. And Apex just like, they don't understand how important it is to have, you know, streamers actually in a good mental state and being able to like not stress about everything, you know? Like I don't know. There's just a lot of things they need to work on.
I feel like
I agree.
yeah, I feel like one thing that may be overlooked is we know Respawn, like they've tweeted out they're trying hard and all that. But I think one thing that we should think about is this game is also made by EA, and EA probably has a big say in what happens and like a lot of financial stuff. I can't confirm that or deny it, but
Oh
like
no,
I feel
dude.
like
100%. The people making choices are in suits. It's all about money. Like that's why we're seeing what we see. In our eyes, the store is terrible. Why are all these skins $18? Because someone did the math. They showed some executives a chart at a long table, and they said, if you do this, then you'll make this much money. If you make the skin this price, you'll make this much money. And they're like, okay, $18 works, and that's why it's there. Because people like me put $2,500 into the game, and they're like, well, we got this sucker, hook, line, and sinker. Keep the skins rolling. But yeah, skins are not important anymore, or not that they're not important, but skins are not what we're asking for. We need the core game to be fixed. And I think Reap said this, and I'll bring up something that I want your guys' opinions on. But Reap said that having a skin for your legend, you unlock like a Predator token or a Master's token, and you can use that to unlock a Predator skin for a legend that you want. So say you're a Wraith main, you get a skin that's like, it looks all Predatored out, and it looks really cool, and you unlocked it by hitting Predator. And when he said that, I think that was, we were streaming then, and I said, what if instead of that, during ranked, you had a rank per legend, so that you didn't like have an overall rank. You're like, your rank on a legend was your rank, so you could push rank for different legends and then show your skill off with each legend individually. Because in the long run, yes, ranked has comps and stuff, but the top content creators would be pushing on multiple legends for more content and more fun. So you would see at the top level more comps being run, and it would just be more interesting, but all the players would still be really good.
so you're saying like if I hit Pred with Wraith, if I were to play Revenant, I would start at like Plat 2 or whatever I started at the beginning?
I
Or
think
bronze
I
or
think
something?
it should be relative for sure. And the skins would only be for like Diamond, Masters, and Pred. So it would give people an incentive to push, to hit that level. But it would.
That's like a lot going on, though. I feel like there's just
Oh,
too
yeah.
much to think about in that scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Let me.
But
Think about
one
that
thing
for a
I did
second.
like that Bax said was, Bax, remember you said, okay, so it's like, you know how you hit top 500, you have to hold it. Bax said the first 500 people to hit Pred should get something special, basically. So then like there's an actual grind to go for Pred right from the start.
I said it to Sean too. I said that same idea to Sean. I think Sean said that it might be cool. He was kind of like debating it. It sounded like in his head. And we were. In
I
a
think
game,
that'd be
so we were-
dope.
Let me ask Enoch, because I know you guys. I've introduced it, and then Sean, you can get a remember it if you don't remember what I'm talking about. But yeah, Enoch. So my idea was, instead of there being, and because that's why I didn't like pushing for Pred now. I liked the old way of pushing Pred when it was just 10k, because it was like you push really hard, you get it, and then you can relax if you want till next season or go scrim. But when you have this bar that's indefinitely just going higher the entire season to be top 500, some people might just be like, well, I don't really care. They hit Masters, they quit, and it reduces the pool. But what if you made it to where, in order to hit top 500, it was like the first 500 people who hit Pred were Pred, everyone else would be Masters, and then there was still a grind to go to an RP if that's what you wanted, and then you could be rewarded separately for hitting like the long-term grind, but the short-term grind also got you something as well. So every time there was a new split, all of the top pros and content creators would be going hard, ferociously fighting each other, not and using like the whatever's meta, but ferociously fighting to lock in that top 500 to hit Predator. And it wouldn't just be this simple like, we'll grind for 24 hours and hit it, but it would be like a fight, because all of the best players would be on going for it. And because of how splits work, if you missed it, the opportunity to try again is only a few weeks away. So it's not like the end of the world. Do you think that would just be a horrible idea? Or what do you think, Enoch?
I don't think it really changes much I mean, because I think that, I mean, obviously, like, there's a decent amount of people that want to push for that first top 500 Pred. I don't think necessarily rewarding, because then I feel like you're literally just encouraging people to like be first to 500, and then they've already locked in the best thing that they're gonna get for playing ranked at split.
No, and that's what I was saying. There would actually be and this is I don't know, so I can't answer that, but like there would be a separate thing for the long haul people who they have like top 500 RP in the world would also get something, but that's at the end of the season. So like at the start of the split there can be a frenzy, and then at the end of the split and during it there's like a marathon. So there's a sprint and a marathon, and they're both rewarded in different ways. So you can make that choice of like which one do you want to go for. So if you don't get top 500, you're like, damn, that sucks. You know what? Let's grind for top 500 guys, and then you can go for that for the RP. And there would be something different. I don't know what the ranks would be or the differentiation, but I think it would be cool to see.
Depend on how people went about it, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. But that was one of the best parts about Apex to me in the beginning was when you were Diamond or Pred, you saw all of the best players and all of the top content creators almost in every game. And I know I never played another game where I played directly against pros, except until Apex. And 9 times out of 10, they destroy me. And I'm like, that makes sense, they're pros. But then that time I kill them, I'm like, ooh, we actually killed I killed a professional player. It feels so great. And no other game had ever given me that feeling, because I never ran across one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just got an idea now that I think about it. When they added Masters, you know how before it was like everyone who hit. Well, okay, I think they should remove Masters, because personally I've been lazy with rank. Like once I hit Masters, I'm kind of like, I don't want to grind for Pred. I feel like you increase the amount of Predators you can have. Let's say 1,000. Maybe that's too little though. I don't know. But let's say 1,000, and you just have Diamond and Pred, and you remove Masters. And I think that grind for Pred will actually be a lot harder, because I'd be like, damn, I want to be Pred. I don't want to be stuck in Diamond this season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that'd be
kinda
more
like
fun.
that idea. I like the idea if only they provided like maybe rewards for different tiers. Like say Pred's top 1,000, but if you're top 500 or top 200, you get different rewards as well. Like, you
Yeah.
get rewarded for actually grinding. Because like if that was the case, I'll be honest, I might be too lazy and just get like top 900 and call it there and stop grinding and just play. I don't know, just like do what I'm doing
But-
now.
But you got to remember though, it's going to be a lot harder, because now everyone's actually going to care about hitting Pred, rather than like, because that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. Like
that's how it
I've been
was a
lazy
Series
because
22.
I'm Masters, but I don't want to be Diamond though. That's why even this split I was like Diamond 2. There's nothing wrong with it though, but I'm just saying, like, I was Diamond 2. I was like, you know what? Let's just hit Master so I can say I'm a Master rather than a Diamond player. You know what I mean? So that's why I
That's
think
true.
the whole grind for Pred would just be a lot harder, because everyone would actually care. Like, I know some people hit Masters and they just start throwing games like nonstop, because it's like, well, I'm already a Master, you know?
Yeah, you can't lose it. And so it's just like,
That's-
who cares at some point?
Yeah. Like Masters has just been like I said, a lazy little fallback for me. Like it's just like, I'm Masters. I don't need to grind for Pred anymore. I feel like, but I know if they remove Masters, and it's like, okay, now I actually want to hit Pred, because it's either Diamond or Pred, and obviously, you know, I'd rather be a Predator.
That's not a bad idea. I can see that being really interesting actually. That's not bad. But then in that case, like top 1,000, like you said, might be a bit too low. And I
Yeah.
still think there should be rewards for different number tiers as well, just for extra incentive.
Yeah, I mean-
there's no incentive right now to
Yeah.
hit Pred.
Yeah, that's why I'm just trying to make the bare minimum, and kind of just call
Or
it.
it'll help
I don't
your
really
growth.
care.
Like it will help your growth on stream, because people will watch you and be like, oh, this guy's cracked, and then you know, but
Yeah.
because you're in top 500, and then at some point even you have to be like top 50 and lower, you know, to really shine and be like, you have to do that #1 grind, you know.
Yep.
I don't know. I just think that for me personally, I'm an incentive-oriented gamer. I mean, at the end of the day, gamers are all psychologically in tune with whatever game they're playing. That's why we play games, because it makes us, you know, we can be a soldier in war. We can be, you know, the captain of a starship in a galaxy. Like, that's why people play video games. You can do things that you can't do, but like there is always an incentive. Why are people like addicted to World of Warcraft, a game that some people would consider more boring than anything else? Because you get that new piece of shiny gear, and then you can sit there and stare at it and be like, wow, I got this because I put a bunch of time into the game. Right now, I feel like there's no reward for the top level players. And I was going to say this earlier. I'm sorry, go ahead, Reap.
Well, also, like, yeah, like you said that, but you know, it's like, okay, let's say you hit Pred, right? You get a dive trail. We've already had Pred dive trails, and I mean, I have the season 1 one, so to me, like, that one's the best looking one, you know? So
Yeah.
am I gonna grind for another Pred dive trail that maybe won't look as good as the season one. So yeah, I definitely agree on the rewards. And it's like if they came out with a dive trail, okay, let's change it up. Maybe this season there's a gun skin, or instead of the charm, there's just or a banner, like just something different. So then you just keep getting different predator like items, I guess you could say. And that would be fun. Like,
I agree.
dude, imagine having pred everything like charm, skins.
Dude,
I
that's
mean, that
why
would just be crazy.
after series 1, when I saw that charm, I remember sitting there looking at it and I was like, this is so fucking awesome. I'm super glad I just wasted my entire life and withered away in real life in order to get this. I went to another gun to put it on, and it said you can only have it on one gun at a time, and I was just blown away. I was like, because they want me to buy the other charms, dude. Really? That's why I want the Pred charm on every gun I have. It looks better than any other charm in the game. I'm also really upset because the Series 3, when I was only Diamond, the Master's badge or gun charm that you have, it looks dope, and so does the Predator charm. And I'm glad I'll at least get the Master's charm for Series 4, and knowing my luck, it's going to be ugly as shit. Because the Series 2 charm, dude, I don't know who can tell me that one looks better than the Series 1 charm. The ugly-ass, like, lava molten A for the Apex.
I don't even use it, dude, on any gun.
I have it on a Spitfire, like, whatever, just throw away, you know what I mean? But, like, that circular charm, dude, looks so good on almost any gun you put it on. It looks good on the Peacekeeper. It looks good on the Wingman. It looks good on an R99. I have mine on the R99. It's beautiful. I love it. That's why it's one of my favorite guns. If they put the R99 in the crate in Season 6, I'm literally taking it off and putting it onto another gun that I use a lot, because that's my favorite charm.
Yep.
Like, I'm torn right now between, am I going to play Season 6 and hit Sean up and hit you up, Reap, and hit anyone else I know up and be like, hey, hit me up whenever you guys need a third, and try to push for top 500 or get masters or whatever, or literally letting my account degrade for this entire season, so that next season I'll be like silver 2. I can get 2 of my friends on Smurfs, and they can funnel me as many 20 bombs as I can possibly get, rinse and repeat, so I can get a 20 bomb on every legend. So then I can at least be like, well, I have Series 1 and Series 2 trail. As you said, Series 1 trail, I don't know how they're going to ever top that, because you can't ever get it. So it's like, it's always there forever. And unless you have, so when Sean drops next season and he has the Series 4 trail, that's going to look dope as shit. And people are going to be like, dude, that guy was pred last season. So that's good. But for me personally, it's like, I don't see that a point for it, because I already have the Series 1 trail. And then also, I am torn between ever being able to get 20 bombs without having to get so absolutely lucky. Like, when I got it on my lifeline the other day, it was my only 20 bomb all season, and I almost lost it to a 3-stack team sniping at Cage. You know what I mean? And I was in a duos with another Predator. So how is that even happening? It should be an easy roll at that point. If I already have 19 kills, I shouldn't have a problem with the last squad. And they're literally camping with a lifeline with a gold bag, who's just rezzing everyone the second we knock them. Damn, we're getting close to around the 2-hour mark, and that's where I was going to kind of wrap it up. So I wanted to say this because I wanted to touch on this a bit more. Maybe we can do this next time if you guys are down once we've seen it. But what do you guys think about Season 6? Like, what are your projections for it?
Bro, I actually wanted to kind of mention. You mentioned earlier you thought Rampart was gonna be meta or something like that, and why is that?
I think her ability is going to be super offensive, and she's going to shake up the meta. And I think she has something to do. I don't know her abilities. I just have that feeling. There's really nothing to base it off of, I guess. But I think her gun shields, the way she drops it for her whole team, will be really interesting to see how people integrate that, how top level players integrate that for that aggression, where you're like, push this team, because you know how you do that in top ranked, like you're like, focus this team, and then like the best teams, the differentiation between like a Predator or a Masters player and a Predator, and then like a Predator to someone in scrimming, and then people in scrimming who win tournaments. The difference is how coordinated their team can be, and how well they move together and flow, and how well that they, team shoot at an enemy and stuff like that. And I feel like the way Rampart's abilities come together, she's going to add that to teams who are able to be like, focus this person. Boom, shields come up, these guns come up. Like there's a one-way shooting mirror gun thing, and then you just shoot through it, kill one guy, and then maybe you have a Revenant on your team, and while the other 2 people were shooting, he was behind the shield setting up a totem, and then you push in, and there's a limitless amount of possibilities. But I think because Loba. Okay, what have we gotten in a ranked season? We've gotten Watson, Crypto, Revenant, and Loba. And only Watson on release was impactful. The other ones are, even to this day, Loba is one of the worst legends. Revenant only became meta because of the huge buffs they gave him. Same with Crypto. He was pretty worthless when he first came out.
Yeah, true. All facts.
So I think that it's kind of like, okay, so on a different game, I played a bunch of World of Warcraft. And when a new class came out during an expansion, for example, everyone's like, they want to play it, right? It's kind of the flavor of the month. Everyone wants to play it. When it's underpowered, that's more disappointing than it being overpowered. I would rather something be overpowered and then it get brought down than it be underpowered and have to get brought up. Because I feel like it's easier to bring something down than it is to bring something to bring it up, And I'm just hoping,
I agree. Look at Octane.
Just,
Yeah. That's true.
But I don't think she's gonna be good. I think it's gonna fall down to the same thing. It's like more of the bad players are gonna abuse her, but you're not gonna really see her in
top
ranks. Yeah, I mean, I definitely will. I know I'm gonna die to some team camping up top, and it's gonna be a bad team though abusing it. But I don't think it's gonna be meta. I think they need to stop with these legends and make aggressive legends like Pathfinder, Wraith. People like that, I think Loba had a big chance too, but her ultimate is just whack. And I mean, same thing with her, when she throws her bracelet, it just doesn't feel good, sitting there.
Yeah, it's too
but
slow.
They need to just make aggressive characters, in my opinion, and make them good, and it would just be fun.
I agree. That's what I was saying earlier too. I was like, I don't think that it's a bad thing necessarily to have an offensive game, but Revenant is not the healthy way of going about it, in my opinion. I think that there should be, you can see clear thinking and reasoning and logic on why a team would W key or ape a team, and not just aping left and right because, okay, let's just do it,
Oh, actually, one thing I meant to say, way earlier, what would fix the game a lot too is gunshots not being heard across map, because I feel like you get third partied a lot because of that, obviously. And then same thing, Revenant teams can push more because it's oh, I hear someone all the way over there, let's go push them, I feel like if they just reduced the sound of shots, it would be way better of a game.
I
agree with that.
Yeah.
Because I know when I was playing Revenant one time too, you hear someone from so far, I have my ultimate, let's just go push them, So I think that's one problem, is you just literally can just go third party anybody because you hear them almost anywhere.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Anyways, hopping back on the Rampart thing, because I was looking at her abilities and her tactical is sick. She puts down cover. Her ult is that minigun, and to kind of carry on Reap's what he said, I don't think it's gonna be good top level. Is mainly due to the fact a lot of good teams, where they thrive and what makes them good teams is their ability to rotate, cover angles, all of that really quick, and to have an ability that makes you stagnant, where your opponents can kind of just rotate around and all that. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be that good.
Did you see confirmed abilities, or was it just speculated abilities?
Oh yeah,
they're pretty confirmed.
Yeah, confirmed. Yeah. They released the video today. Did you see it, Bucks?
Wait, I thought. Okay, yeah. So does she not have a? I did not see it. I will admit. I had a busy day up until before the.
You want me to tell you what the abilities are?
Yeah.
Now,
I thought there was a hammer or something that she could rebuild things. Is that not a thing anymore, or was that just speculation? That was incorrect.
I'm pretty sure that's speculation.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just crafting, but. Yeah, so her tactical is the amped cover, which is she can deploy 3 walls. And the walls are kind of cool because the walls have 2 parts. One's an upper part where you can actually shoot through and it'll amp your bullets. It'll do more damage. And the bottom part is just a defensive wall part. So that's her tactical. Her passive is basically increases magazine capacity and reload charge and all that with LMGs and miniguns, which is kind of meh. And then her actual ult is the Sheila minigun, which is it's a mounted minigun, and has like high ammo capacity and apparently long reload times. So that's like the 3 abilities, and then
Anyone
the
could
thing,
use that, by the way. Any
yeah,
legend could
anyone can
use
use
that.
that. Yeah. So like,
Well,
with that being said, they're all pretty stagnant abilities. That's the problem.
that's why I think what you just said though is why she'll be good, because good teams with her will be like rotate here to this position. It's just like with Caustic, right? Remember, the first time you played with me, you were kind of like, I don't want to, toot my own horn, but you were just like, holy shit, like the way you can trap a building. I've never seen another Caustic who like has
Yeah,
the
it's true.
finesse.
It's true.
And it's because there's that skill, and from you guys, not me. I'm not saying like, oh, I'm so good at Caustic. You guys were like, you picked up on it. You knew how to play it. Because I played with teams that can't play around. I played with this one like British guy who was just like, I can't fucking see anything because you're gas. And I was just like, you weren't in my gas, dude. We weren't even in that building for like 30 seconds. You can't blame me for that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you Reap, even Enoch. I haven't really played ranked with Enoch a lot, but just in pubs, can play around the legends you're in a game with, and that is a skill in and of itself. So if you have top teams who know how to rotate, like you said, and know when to push and do all that stuff, that's why I think she's going to be really good. Because I think a good team will be like, okay, move here quick. Okay, give us some defense. Boom. All right, we're going to shoot. We're going to focus this team with those. She's going to throw them up. It amps their bullets. Everyone uses it to amp their bullets, crack or knock one guy, and then they're instantly pushing. And they're not just going to sit and wait with it. You know what I mean? And then the
I
Gatling
can
gun
definitely
as
see
well
that being good.
and I could be completely wrong. She could be, in Enoch's words, dog meat. But at the end of the day, I think she might be really good, and I'm hopeful for that. Because as I said, I'd rather a legend come out and be game changing than a legend come out and be, boring and no one plays it. Because then it's like, well, that's a
Like
letdown.
Loba, because she
Exactly.
sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like the only problem, if she is good, man, the one thing I'm scared of is like it kind of indirectly, it doesn't buff Gibby, but it makes him more played, which I don't like Gibby. I think he's too good, because Gibby literally counters her hard. Like literally Dome Shield into Gibby ult destroys everything she has. So like if she is good, that just makes Gibby more played, and I don't like fighting Gibbies at all because I feel like he's too good with Fortitude or whatever, Fortified and Gun Shield. So that's a problem on his own, in my opinion. But I guess we won't cross that road till it happens.
I'm definitely excited to I'm excited to see where season 6 moves. What about you, Enoch? What are your projections, or like what are you most excited about for season 6? I love the map changes, actually, just to throw that in there before you answer.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think the map changes look solid. I think everything they're doing gun and meta wise is sad. Especially if the R9 gets care packed, I'm gonna be sad.
We don't have patch notes on that yet, right? That's normally like day of release thing, isn't it?
Comes out tomorrow, I'm pretty sure.
I'm so excited to see the patch notes, and is that it for the for you, Enoch? Just you don't like the projections for what the?
It just looks like it's just a bad meta of like, especially with the devotion being floor loot and everybody realizing how stupid broken it is. Because like I felt like last time when devotion was floor loot, nobody really used it because nobody really knew, or like just wasn't good unless you had the turbocharger.
Right? Because I remember it being good, but you just never had ammo.
Gross. It's gonna be gross.
Yeah, that was one problem for sure.
Yeah,
ammo.
So I remember I always loved the Devo, but I never used it because nobody else really had energy. But because they would chew through it even if they had it, because you go through a Devo so quickly even now when it's gold, because it just spits ammo out, and it used to do that as well. So yeah, I'm definitely excited to see where everything moves in that regard.
Do you guys think the Havoc's getting nerfed again because turbocharger's being brought back?
Hopefully. I mean, do you think they'll for sure put turbocharger back on that gun though? Like, they could just, I don't know, just not allow you to put turbocharger on it.
But then the only thing is, then they only have turbocharger for one gun, right? Which is devotion, which is kind of weak in my opinion. It's like having the choke in the game at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is pretty weak in my opinion as well. It's like a useless attachment. Like how many times do someone pick up a choke and be like, oh, I need this? Like not many at all.
True.
So like I don't know.
In my opinion, and this is a whole other can of worms, and we're getting towards the end, so I don't want to go too in depth. But like, I think hop ups in a lot of ways don't even need to be in the game, and then it would actually make the more things like that you add into the game, the harder it is to balance around them. And I just think the guns should just be stock. Whatever they do, and they don't need to have add-ons because it's just like you said, the choke is an almost worthless hop up now because you have to have a triple take. You're not really using a triple take most of the time. It should just be built into the triple take. It should just be a toggled thing. Like, do you want this to choke or not? And then the PK, obviously doesn't even need it.
Yeah.
But that's a whole separate thing. And we're getting toward, I think around 2 hours. I know you guys are probably busy. I know, Sean, you got to stay in top 500
I
pred.
gotta grind some RP, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I know Enoch's probably got to go stream some for 24 hours. And Reap, I don't know, you'll probably just be chilling. I think you said you had something to do tomorrow. But guys, this was absolutely fantastic. If you guys are down, I would love to do like episode 2 with you guys in a few weeks to talk about to kind of go back on what we all just said about season 6 and talk about how season 6 is so far. Totally up to you guys, but
I'm with it.
yeah, I really
Yep,
appreciate
same.
you guys coming in here and giving me your time. I know you guys are busy. This was super fun. I hope everyone who watches this enjoys it. And everyone go check out these guys real fast. I will put this on the screen for them. But one at a time, say, plug yourself. Enoch, where can we see you most of the time? Where are you most active?
Twitch and Twitter, and my YouTube that I don't upload on.
What's that Twitch?
Twitch.tv brother_Enoch.
All right.
And then on Twitter, it's just brother_Enoch_. And then on YouTube, it's just brother_Enoch.
All right. I'll definitely have that on the screen. What about you, Sean? Where are you most active?
Mainly on Twitch and Twitter. My Twitch is just ShonSP, nice and clean, easy. And then my Twitter's ShonSP_.
Don't forget
Nice.
to plug the melee.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna upload on that app for much
Yeah, I
longer.
don't think I'm
I thought you
uploading.
were a big TikToker. Sean, what happened to TikTok?
Bro, I gotta go back on the TikTok grind, dude. I'm missing out.
I'm gonna make a new account
TikTok's
because I'm
getting
pretty sure I
banned,
got
bro.
shadow banned.
You
On
got shouted
TikTok?
out on TikTok?
Bro, well, I mean, I used to pull views on TikTok, and
Not
then
even
I just
TikTok.
stopped uploading, and then now I just don't.
Damn.
Like my views will I'll get like a few hundred on my TikToks, but like when I was in my prime, like a bad TikTok would have like a few thousand.
Damn.
Fuck.
And then
never
I've
used
got
TikTok
one with
before.
like 50K.
That's how my Instagram was, and now my
and then, like,
Instagram is
one with
just terrible.
37. Yeah.
Which one's your TikTok? Is it brother_Enoch or brother Enoch?
I believe I have both. I have brother_Enoch is the one that I had been using.
Dude, that's. I just think it's funny that TikTok was where gamers were able to put their stuff. But Reap, what's your where are you most active?
Everything's just Ymreap. I post on everything.
All right, cool. I will have all these guys links for everything in description. Go follow them, please. Show them some love and support. Enoch streams 24 hours a day, 24/7, so he'll always be live. I think Sean. I don't know when Sean streams, but I think it's a little bit later, and then I think Reap's a little bit earlier for NA times at least. So, guys, show them some love. Again, Enoch, Sean, Reap, I appreciate you guys coming here. I had so much fun, and I think that this is great conversation to have, and it's just very interesting. I know we were all over the place, but honestly, that's what I wanted. I just wanted us to talk and have fun. So, I appreciate you guys. Coming in here.
Yep, no problem, dude.
It was good.
It's been a pleasure.
Hell yeah, dude.